Hello friends, I'm Colonel Failure and welcome back to the Transport Fever 2 mainline, where we're looking at this somewhat convoluted junction that I built last time around, just to see it start to get into action. We've got the lumber freight train there is heading on down to wherever it feels like heading on down to, and we've got the passenger unit here that is waiting to... Unit. That's a little bit early, maybe a smidge anachronistic there, but hey, that's all good fun. And it was just waiting for the go signal before it could go. Signal. You're not going to stop there, are you? No. Why have you been able to proceed then, given that there is nothing blocking you and the next... Because it's a path and you're going that way. Oh, yeah, okay. So that's all good then. Theoretically, yes. Anyway, that's super. It's working more or less as I wanted it to, although that's slightly odd behaviour. Right, what are we doing today? Well, as advertised last time around, we're going to get the first of our freight stations set up, ready to operate the main line. If I sounded a little hesitant there, it was because I can't really decide where to put it. You've got two choices. We've got there, or we've got here. Yeah? Well, there's any number of choices in the world, but those are the two that really sort of lend themselves towards this particular operation. And I rather suspect we're going to do here, because we've got a little bit more space to play with. And it potentially turns Picks Creek into something a little bit more scenic, I suppose. So the question is, what side of the track are we going on? So the way that the station's going to work is that I will branch off, create the station, and all of the necessary infrastructure around it. And then once it has somewhere to go, because we're going to need one of these at every stop along the line, then I'll port in by transport in, I should say, either by truck or by train, whichever makes more sense. All of the goods in the surrounding area. I'd love to use nothing but trains, but if I'm placing the station here and we want this food picking up, it doesn't make any sense to use trains. Trucks will do just fine. But every journey starts with the first step. Oh, well done. How jolly sagely of you. And that means we're going back to doing a bit of double tracking again, but this one should be easy. No. It really should be. Let's take that out, yeah, and then let's go tracking, because all this is going to do is go in a straight line. Right, this is a no-brainer bit of straight line track here, and that's all golden. How far do you want to take it right now? This will do. Yeah. This will do until we start thinking about how we go out to Silent Hill. So I'm going to need to branch that back in, and then it will all work. 65 should be plenty, 55 should be ideal, and then slap a signal on it and we're good to go. Alright, stick that on there. There you go. Does need to be a one-way signal because there's another one-way signal further up the line, and that will dictate the direction of travel for the whole thing. Yeah, well. Right, so, station. Yeah. Where do you want it? Well, a little bit this way wouldn't hurt, but right around here in this open area would be fine. I am going to throw a reasonable chunk of change at flattening this area out, which is going to be expensive and painful. So hold on to it. There we go. Yeah, what was that? No, it was only 60 grand. Yeah, but you didn't really do much damage there, did you? Why is that not levelling that out in the way that should be levelling that out? There you go. Do this, yeah, and then do that, yeah. We appear to have a lump. Oh, there's an underlying whatnot. Is there? Yes, there is. Okay, right, well, keep working. Yeah. If you don't look at it, if you move the cursor nice and quick, you can't see how much you're spending. Then afterwards, you can have the regret and remorse when you kind of go, I've emptied my bank account. Oh, no. Okay, so, what looked like a relatively flat piece of ground there is not a flat piece of ground. How are we doing? I'm up to about 2.5 million in groundwork so far. Yeah, that should be more or less okay. I think I'm going to have to relay this track, Yeah, look at it. You've got a bowing bit of track action. Well, it wouldn't be a Tuesday if we weren't bulldozing track that we'd just spent extra money on. Yeah. Where is flat? Oh, this all looks fairly flat around here. These lumps along the side will we'll do something to tidy them up in due course. Right, let's go from there. You're going to need junctions at either end anyway, so, you know, why make a fuss? How far are you going? Up to about there, because I'm going to flatten all of this, okay, and then afterwards we'll make the slope work in a way that it has to in order to function. So in theory, we should just know that's a signal. That's not what I want. I want this. All right, turn your angle so you're actually looking in the right way. Just come on. This always happens when you're holding multiple mouse buttons down at the same time, and the whole thing kind of goes like, "Phew, are you in control here?" And you kind of go, "Well, moderately." Right, stick that on there. Yeah, obviously I've broken a line. You don't even need to tell me. Mod counters. I know that there are several of you going, "Where's the mod pack?" And I'm going, "It's not yet. Not yet for the mod pack. You can have the mod pack when I reach 10 mods. We are now at 7." And one of those affects the way that cargo is stored on these platforms. Right, I'm going to want... How many stations are you going to want? Let's go with 5 platforms. Yeah, I know, so it's a beefy piece of kit. And then we'll spin it around that way, and I want to lock it in pretty much snapped to the track that we already have there. Except, I don't want to do this at all. Oh? No, I don't. I want to custom build it. So we'll go 1 track. Okay, alright, if you say so. I mean, it's going to end up costing you the same money. Yes, but I don't necessarily want the configuration that it does by default, you see. So, you know, I know what I'm doing. Evidence points to the contrary. Right, let's... yes. You might have to do multiple attempts at a placement here. If you haven't quite got the angle right, it's going to look rotten. That'll do it, though. Does that look... It doesn't look right at the other end. Oh, it's going to be that. Even if it's slightly misaligned, you know what you're going to do. Place a station, yeah. And then relay the track to snap perfectly to that bit of track you've got there. How did you know that was going to happen? I've been here before. This is not my first rodeo. In fact, I'm going to set up for a bit of scenic opportunity here by slapping in a little bit more track. Shouldn't you put the station in first so you're snapping next to the station? You raise a valid and important point that I will probably agree with in a moment. Let's do that. Let's put the station in. Yeah. Why is that bit of track bent? It doesn't really matter, does it? No. Given that you're about to bulldoze all of that. Alright, stick that in there. Give me my bulldozer. Right, yeah. All of this work. We did it once, and we had fun in the process of doing so. We can just do it again. It's going to be... Oh, we're all going to have a great time. Right. Okay. Well, this all seems to be arguably the biggest waste of money that you've done so far. Oh, give it time. I've got bigger wastes of money to come. That being one of them. Raising the track to a certain height and then taking it back again afterwards. Right. Well, you've very ably emptied 4 million quid out of your bank account. Go me. Go you indeed. Right, you may ask, why? Why are you putting in these extra tracks here? And you go, oh, I'm going to make it scenic. I want extra wagons that are parked up. Now, what I'm not going to do, maybe I will, maybe I won't. I probably won't, is I'm not going to make these tracks any... all right, I can't guarantee that I'm not going to make these platforms, not tracks, make these platforms any longer than their default 320 metres. Because experience and indeed history dictate that there is a very slim likelihood of being able to pack out a good length train. So as much as I'm a big fan of US style, well, all style freight trains that are extremely long, I don't think we're going to get that. And let's have a quick look at this. Does that look... Yeah, you see you've got ever such a slight kink there. You happy with that, though? I think that's all right. Okay, right. Now, I'm not going to do much more than I just did. That's about it for now. I will do modifications to the station when the need arises, because we've got some freight to actually pump around the joint, as it were. and therefore doing any extra work now is not necessarily a great idea, because the station's going to be fatter. And while I may revisit stations later on, I think I've got an idea that 5 tracks will be sufficient. So if you're a freight mainline train coming up here, you'll swing into the upstream platform before swinging back out again and heading on your merry way. And if you're on the other one, you'll swing in and go to a different platform, get any business done you've gone with cargo before heading on your way, and then we will have incoming trains. So I don't think that steel is going to end up here, but this lumber certainly will do. And that'll come in on one of the extra platforms. We'll probably run... I don't know if I'll run that all the way round up to here and then back again. Or whether I'll run it here, drop it off, run it there, drop it off, bring it back. I don't know. One or the other. Anyways, but that's the theory of how it's going to work. From here, we'll run a train that does a quick hop up the line, stops at the platform and then goes back the other way, which is going to mean that this junction will be rebuilt as probably a quad track, purely because of the amount of stuff that's going to be running up there. It's going to actually be a properly busy junction. Well, that's great. Every series I ever do always has one kind of junction, one bit that I rebuild a dozen times before it reaches its final form. Yeah, I'd really like to build more of this now, but there is absolutely no point in doing so until I've got until I've got the next bit kind of built up. Although saying that, I will add the 2 mainline tracks. We're going to need more. That's a total given, but let's go with getting this rolling and then see what we're up to. Right, so we've got one platform now. A mod that I've added, in theory, because it's not a mod that I've used before. If I now sling a second platform on here, right, in fact, I'm going to want to quad platform this, which is going to be odd and unusual and interesting and vital. It will mean that any excess cargo that I've got looking to head up the main line, so heading up that way, will actually fill up the second platform as well. If I believe the description, and I believe I do, then that should work just fine. So by adding this 3rd track, yeah, you know what would be nice? The ability to have slightly different platforms, because these all look a little bit odd now. Yeah, they do. Yeah, what are you going to do about that? Not a lot. I'm going to power on, and then if I end up modding it later on, then we'll tweak it accordingly. So we'll add this as well. What's that one there? It's passenger platform. Right, okay. And then stick a track down the other side. This looks too weird for my taste. Not if it works, it won't. You sure? What is sure, really? Well, it's a measure of how certain you are that what you're building isn't a complete waste of space and time. Okay, so we got that in there, and then this platform here can fill up both of these two. This platform here can fill up both of these two. I don't know if it's going to work. It possibly will need remodelling. It will almost certainly need remodelling. And then I'll stuff it. We're here already. We'll stick in the 3rd stop here. I don't know if you need 5. I think 3 will probably do it. What I'm trying to avoid, or what I'd like to avoid, I've got some breaking news for you. What? You can't go any wider than that. Well, that's a disappointment. Yeah. Okay, well, bulldozer time again. Well, it's just, well, we found that out now, isn't it? Isn't it, though? Yeah, isn't it? There's only a certain width you can go for. Yeah, but you see, what I will typically do under these environments is I'll actually stick 2 stations right next to each other, and then to the naked eye it will appear as though it is just one station, but actually it will be a pair of them that will communicate through the medium of dance, and therefore it will look great. All right, okay, as you say. Right, okay, so then we'll stick this on here instead. Now, I don't know if this is going to work or not, but what I'm hoping is that the 2 outside platforms here will share the middle one. I've got no evidence one way or the other as to whether it will or not, so we'll just have to see. Can I get another platform on the outside? No, you can't. You've used up all your capacity. Well, that's annoying. Well, I don't know. Go write to your MP. I mean, what do you want from me? You know what you should have done? You should do those the other way around. Yeah. Well, it was fun building it the first time round. And the second time round. Let's build it a third time round and see if this is going to lead itself towards anything useful. I assure you, we're mere moments away from picking up the tempo and making quite a lot of progress in short order. My aim is that that fairly soon. What do you think? Next episode? Yeah, next episode we'll start the freight main line running. Now the only downside is that initially it's going to be sort of point-to-point-esque. I mean that's not a big problem, but it is slightly askew from what we'd like. Now, how do you want to run the entrances here? Well, I think we're going to want one at either end, aren't we? Just to make things efficient. All right, okay, and then we'll stick one down this end. So we'll have road stations next to those. Medium side building, large side building. I think you're going to go with the medium there, Gov. All right, okay, fine. Lots of them. Yeah, maybe chuck a sneaky, cheeky little side building in there, just to break it up a little bit, make it feel like there's some artisanal business going on. Oh yeah, sure. I'm all about the artisanal business. I've heard that about you. You know, you can get medication for that. That doesn't even mean anything. Right, there you go. Try that. Slap these in as well. Yeah. Another entrance? Sure. Doesn't fit. Put it on there then. Alright, good. Not inexpensive, not efficient, but it is looking, you know, very much its own beast. Now, more interestingly still, I mean, obviously, interesting is very much a subjective term here. Later on, I'll probably replace with something a little bit more modern. And if I turn my attention to whatever, a bit of decoration, which I'm intending to do. This is the Pix Creek digital mainline. Yeah, hub. I don't like hub. Hub in a practical sense, yes, but as a descriptive, interchange. Oh, yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you. What? Yeah, if I end up beautifying these things a little later on, and given that I've put these two sidings in here, I think that's quite possible. Then you know we'll revisit them, so make it look good. Or maybe I leave it alone as being a slightly more aged station. And then as I'm building stations that are slightly more modern further around the other end of the track, we could use modern stations there. Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, there's some merit in what you're saying. Right. Now, how are you going to do this? Well, I was thinking some kind of cascade would probably work well. Okay, see if that works. Well, I'm sure it will. It might if you give it enough space. Okay. Ooh, what about slapping it along there? I think the signal's in the way. Right, hold on. Well, firstly, consider which side of the track you're on here. So you are on the right-hand side track. That's actually quite pretty. It's quite pretty, but it's not the most complicated thing you're ever going to build. I think you need to run this out further. Those two sidings that you're actually never going to use in a practical sense, you're going to want them hooked up to the track to make it look like they are in use, even if you don't use them. So I think you start your quad trackage here. Oh, gently does it. Yeah. This might work. All right. Construction is possible. You're just not trying hard enough. All right, come out this way. There you go. Construction is possible. It totally is possible. Again, you're just not trying hard enough. If I were to bulldoze this now, and then we'll try it again, and you'll go, oh yeah, I can totally do that, and I'll go, yeah, I figured you probably could. Oh, okay, right, let's get it. Just don't you fight me. Come out here at about that angle there. All right, and then onto here. Lo and behold, it's worked. But it did need a little bit of teasing in order to make that happen. Good. And you can tell it's not quite right because anytime you get ballast kind of chucked in the side, but it's dipped rather than snapped. Show me snapped. Here's snapped, yeah? And this has got, you can see it. You can probably make it out. There you go. So you've got a bit of a dip in there. Means it is not perfectly snapped together. If you try and put a diamond crossing or some kind of crossing over multiple tracks kind of a deal on there, it's going to fight you every single step of the way. You're making this convoluted junction even more convoluted. I know, it's great, isn't it? Yeah, sure. Right, so this is going to come out this way and then head over there like that. Yeah. You're going to want to kill this signal, yeah, and stick it on there instead. Yeah. Not that I'm using this at the moment. It doesn't really matter, does it? Of course it matters. Just flipping. Would you just come on? Get closer. There. That. Burn it. Thank you. Right. And then we don't need to care about this junction because we'll never use it. Right. Well, we might. Yeah, it's possible. It's conceivable. There is a really nice mod that I used in the Japan series early on. No, it was in a different one. In the one that I did before that, where I decorated everything, where you can have invisible train stations to use as waypoints and what have you. And that worked out really well. Now, next one there, you're going to want to get onto the second line here. So you could double flip that, or we could route it onto here a little bit further up, which might look quite pleasing. Oh, I'm glad I did this now. I like flinging in a bunch of track and making it kind of sing together. That's quite good fun. Right, here we go. Which is fortunate, given that I do quite a lot of it. I want you to fold in over there, but you're not going to... there you go. Yay, good times. Right, because that's only ever going to go one way. That's going to go up the easy side. Okay, and then what? Try and get this round on here with a swan neck. Yep. Okay. Right. Well, it does what it's supposed to do. Might look a little on the odd side, but it does what it's supposed to do. Yeah. And then, where from? About there? Yeah, maybe from about here. And this will either work or it won't. You're going to need to get rid of that signal. Yeah. Okay, right, here we go. Now, what we're doing with this, you're going over both tracks. Right. Okay, well, this is going to be cruel and unusual. Go on, snap to that last one. You've got another signal in the middle there that might be getting in the way. All right, okay. It should do it. It might not, because you've got a bit of snappage going on there that could be excitable. Right, get rid of just get rid of the signal. Get rid of the signal. Just that's it. Thank you. You come here. Let's go. Oh, there we go. There you go. That's the ticket. It's possibly the ticket. You don't know that for certain. I do. There you go. That'll double slip. This will double slip as well. It's going to be great. So, as you recall, this third track, the top track, as we look at it now, that is for hither and yon, to and fro behaviour. Okay, all right. I don't mind that. Needs a bit of decorating. Yeah, needs a bit of decorating. We need to continue flattening this out to allow for truck ingress, egress. And then we're going to need to go the other way. Yeah, so, I mean, the ideal would probably be a mirror of this junction, maybe not including the sidings, because we don't need them. Fair. And slip it out the other way. But I don't want to do that. I'm going to... Yeah, we can unpause because the line is now no longer broken. We're going to continue the double track up to the next area so that I can scout out what we're going to do next. Because at the time of speaking, I don't know what that is. Did you actually connect it back up again? I did. Gracious. All right, on we go. Okay, this is a nice area. This is a good place to put anything with all this. You've got a bit of a gully going on and you've got trees on either side. That's quite attractive. Anyway, it's not so attractive that I care that much, but, you know, I mention it anyway. Right. It's distinctly possible that with me having removed the slip track over to the other line, that if there is more than one train running up and down here, I'm about to create carnage. Yeah. You ought to stick one one-way signal on there at least. Okay. All right, hang on. Let's get it going right about here. Yep, that'll do it. No, whoa, wait. Misfire on the second one. There you go. Right, now the line's broken, because at the moment this double tracking never talks to itself again. That's fine. As soon as I slip it back in, it'll be fine. It will be fine. All right, did I actually come out the other side? I did come out the other side. All right, now what are we going to do here? So we've got a mainline passenger station. Yes, and then where are you going to want your next mainline freight? Another straight bit. It's another good location then. You got some stone. You got coal. You've got a quarry going on there. You could probably justify bringing the oil in. You've got steel manufacture, and you've got the forest at Silent Hill. That could choose for itself which way it wants to go. All right, so that's what 1, 2, 3, 4 hookups there, and that's about it. What are you going to do about this iron? Well, that depends what we're going to do with Port Ruddy Miggins and friends. It really does, doesn't it? I think Port Miggins shouldn't be on the main line. I think Port Miggins should be a port that then exports. Ooh, interesting. That has a ship-based pickup that runs up the river to something that is on the main line. Well, in which case you're going to run from Port Miggins down here towards Rapture, Raccoon City, that kind of area. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I like it. That's good. Right, merge those two back together again, or you'll have broken one of your high-paying tracks. I don't know where I am. Silent Hill. Okay, thank you. Yeah. All right, so this is going to need a smidge of remodel. Not a big one. I think we will knock out the depot and get that out of there. I think an official... Well, I've tried doing this before with only one depot on the main line, and that's a really bad idea. Instead, the smart thing to do would be to have depots at either end. Facing one another on either side of the map. That way, you should end up with something that works. Right, so you're one way. I've unbroken the line, and we're now off to see the wizard. Groovy. Okay, good. Oh, we've got a working single track kind of operation here for this station. I mean, Colonel Failure. That's going to wrap it up for this time. Slow progress for these two, but the first deployments always will be. I'm gonna while I rattle away here. Let's keep working on. How much have I got left? 4 million. It's not a lot, but it should be enough. You say that, but you're about to gouge a massive amount of ground out. Yeah. It's going to be okay. Yeah, you see how you've burned through about half of it? Yeah, it's going to be okay. You know what you need? Truck station mods. Yeah. But I can get the road in now, and then we'll work off that in a moment. Bit of Medium Street? Yeah. Okay. Alright, so we should get connections all the way along there. Well, actually, I'm surprised that we've got connections all the way along. I was only expecting them at either end, but that's fine. Yeah, just stick it in. All right, great. We're more or less somewhere. So next time around, what I want to do is I want to connect up two. So I want to get Silent Hill done, and then I also want to get Grazer Ridge done. Yeah, there's nothing at Grazer Ridge though. I mean, you've got coal and iron. Yeah. Yeah, okay, no, it's not. I want to get two done, yes, but is it going to be ready? No. All right, in that case, here's what I'm going to do in the next episode. I'm going to get one more done, so we'll get the Grazer Ridge stop done. I'm not so sure it's a good idea to even have one there. And then... you could have one that serves both Grazer Ridge and Mega City 1, which will make this bridge area really flaming spectacular. Oh gosh, yes, it really will. So you could go on this side of the river, and then you've got all of this Utopia Planitia stuff as well, and not a lot else. Yeah, alright, okay, yeah. And then I will build out from Sherma. We'll get a little bit more of the regular track going in. We'll head from Sherma down past Bartertown. Are we going to hit Bartertown? Yeah, I think we are. I think we're going to snake in through there, go via Bartertown, snake back, go to Dark City. Yeah. And then what? More snaking for Sir? Yeah, I think we continue snaking down here, come out down the bottom end of Rapture, and then along we go. Interesting. Okay, but yeah, that's what we'll do next time. Anyone recall what I just said? No? Good. That's how I want you to remember it. By not remembering it. I'm pretty certain I'm short on some signals here. Why are you, or what are you waiting for? Where are you going? You're obviously a train. Well done. Yeah, I know. My first train identification guide. You, presumably, just want to go up to Upper Picks Creek, right? Upper Picks Creek, yeah. Okay, so why are you being given the no go? Oh, because are you going the other way? No, you're going to Upper Picks Creek, as we just discussed. Literally, as we just discussed. All right, well, why are you being kept out of there? There's signals everywhere. This path should be vacant. It's this one. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah, you need another signal in there to allow for everybody to get a go in good time rather than holding your branch line until later. Okay, fine. Oh, that's okay. All right, we'll just stick a cheeky signal on there, and then it won't happen again. Don't stop now. Oh, all right, whatever. But that was wholly unnecessary. Presumably you're going to the same place, are you? Yeah. I'm going to the same place. It's fine. I'm in Colonel Failure. Subscribe if you haven't done so already, because this series is a series, and therefore, to be able to catch the next episode in the series, you're going to want to be able to see it when it happens. And by subscribing, the old YouTube will tell you when it happens, unless you ask it not to. In which case, it won't. Right. I think we're all in alignment here. Either way, get off my show, and I'll talk to you next time. Cheerio.